COVID-19 has had an impact on structural weaknesses in economies around the world. Here in Europe, interest rates are at almost 0%, so many are searching for investments with the promise of better returns. The Bank of England estimates that British savers squirreled away £100 billion. That's about $140 billion during COVID-19 lockdowns. But many could be losing out from below-par deals. So just where should people be looking for an above-inflation return on their money? Pension funds, stocks and shares are the obvious places to start. And while some markets around the world fell as much as 34% on the confirmation of the pandemic in March 2020, the markets bounced back and ended the year on average 62% higher. But not all of them. Spain's IBEX fell by more than 18% in 2020, and the FTSE in London has had its worst year since 2008, falling almost 13%. Some companies have benefited from lockdowns. Video calling companies like Zoom and unicorn meal kit delivery company Gusto have seen huge surges in demand. During economic recession or political turmoil, many would-be investors turn to commodities, as the price of tangible assets tends to move in the opposite direction from stocks and bonds. Gold is often seen as a safe haven, but this year it's been outperformed by its metal cousin, silver. In February, silver reached an 8-year high, driven largely by traders on the discussion forum Reddit looking to circumvent the world's huge hedge funds. The same tactic recently sent shares in US video retail chain GameStop soaring. Property prices around the world too held up and even rose throughout 2020, especially those with outside space and a place for a home office. And even some of the perhaps trickier investments, like wine or art, are still worth a look. Many have been worried that collectors would be somewhat timid in the time of pandemic, but the sale of a portrait by Botticelli in January this year for $92 million seems to have proved the doubters wrong. But we always need to remember that investments can go down as well as up, and there's no guarantee you'll ever be as fortunate as those who, in 1997, invested $1,000 in Amazon when it floated. Well, today, that $1,000 would be worth $1.43 million.